Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to Keep Going Sketchbook, the time where I try to keep making something every week. Maybe, maybe more or less that'll work, but hey, this is it. So this week it's going to be a little bit about drawing. That's what I do on a daily basis. I'm always drawing, I'm always doodling, I'm always doing something with my hands and making things visual, right? I call that visual thinking, and it's what I do as my job. I'm a user experience designer. So I'm helping to describe what apps and websites and the experiences that customers have, validating them with people, testing them, and understanding if the solution's going to work, and communicating that to the business and to developers. This I think it's going to sound like a commercial as I go through this, but that's what I do on a daily basis. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I got to interview for a role this week, and I pulled out my old. Actually, I'll pull it up. I had this old resume from when I first came to this company, and I printed it out. And on the inside, there's a complete journey line from my career doing design, and basically how I moved from Virginia to Texas and all that stuff. But when you open it up, it shows my two key things, and that's visual thinking, which I call my superpower, and people, that's my fuel. I tend to have a tremendous amount of empathy for people, and I want to make something that's important to them, and I defend that. And, honestly, I love collaboration, and I can't do collaboration alone. Visual thinking is just a natural counterpart to drawing and talking. And a lot of times that happens on stickies and everywhere I go. So in this resume, these were my two core things that I went in with, but I started to evolve that immediately when I started, and I had this one thing baking. That thing was called the Golden Zone. So these are the themes that we're building around the work that I do. Visual thinking, people, and then this golden zone thing started to happen. And let me tell you a little backstory on that. As I go through this, I'm going to show you kind of like a big roll-up drawing that I made, and that'll be the thing I made in my sketchbook this week. So for the golden zone, every time I came into a new design job, right, there would always be this stash of old drawings, things that designers had made in the past, probably spent a ton of hours. It looked really cool, probably had some data in it. The company must have thought it was important at some point, but the designer probably went off and, put it in their portfolio, rolled it up, and it was done. But basically, it's like a ghost town, right? These things that get made and never get used again, but they're typically filled with a ton of data that could be used. I mean, a lot of times products don't change that much. The same customer is the one that they're trying to get to use the product, and basically, when you have designers after designers after designers, they're all building on top of each other, and you don't realize that the designers that were here 2 years ago were trying to solve the same problem, right? And when I think about how products are built, we're kind of walking around going, hey, these are the things we made. Hey, customers. Hey, I hope this works out for you. But the process of making them is actually, it's really complicated. There's a ton of failures and things that mess up, and make do's and patches. And basically you're working pretty hard. It's a conversation in a way between developers and business and designers, trying to figure out what might solve a problem for customers and something that you can actually build. So rather than designers building these complicated graphs and whatnot, delivering them, and they're just going to become things that get thrown away. I mean, designers are always building comps and things that have to go directly into products so that they know what to build. Like, hey, this is where the button goes. These are the pages we're building. But really, a lot of times these drawings are more about the context of overall, like what the product is and what it does, and they're aspirational things, or maybe even a focus on the customer. I believe that there's a golden zone that we should actually be designing into, where we dream out loud. And it's more of a social experiment where we're getting people to understand the end to end. We're pasting it up out in the open and quickly and often, and not trying to like make some complicated graphic that's going to get printed on gigantic poster paper and that's how it's going to live. But I think these things have to live in snippets because we're always looking at things like Instagrams and sticky notes and little pieces of this and that, and that's how we understand how things fit together. So I believe that designers need to dream out loud. One thing that's helping that is this product called Figma. We're about it's probably coming on almost a year of being able to be in this product. It's really cool. If you've ever used Google Docs, where you're collaborating on a document or you're going into something and you see that someone's already been in there or they're in there right now writing something, it's kind of like that. It's basically a product where you can design on top of each other. It's not like you're going to be literally in the file, but you're all in the same neighborhood. So you're going to be able to build all at the same time. The reason that that's cool is that in the past, you have these designers working kind of isolated from one another. I think now we can see it all on the screen at once. And that's one of the things I'm trying to do is get designers to share their work and paste it up in a space where we can see it all rather than having things get delivered and they're just kind of all having their own life cycle. Let's get it all on the wall so we can see it. And that's what got me started thinking about walls and culture. I believe that the what you paste up and what you display and what you make transparent is radically important. And design is not only just buttons and colors and icons and things like that, but it includes how the designers think and organize and develop their rationale. The rationale is basically if a developer or a business is going to come to you and say, why are you doing it like this? We should have a strong rationale about why it is that way. I mean, hopefully it's customer backed. Hopefully we've seen someone struggle and we know this is the solution. So when we start making our work transparent, our partners are going to discover what we value and think. And just by getting that out in the open, it's going to make this opportunity happen where we can all have the shared goals and just getting it out in the open. Like stop hiding, stop acting like design is a mystery. Design is something that can explode out, and we can all start to rationalize why we're doing what we're doing. I think that's what designers can do. They can get out in the open and help everyone understand where we're going and why, and get out of these ghost things. And I think that's a combination of this golden zone idea, delivering in a new way, not just delivering comps or buttons or this or that, but developing a culture and developing a new way to deliver and providing a new kind of value to a business. So when I thought about this walls and culture thing and the golden zone and my visual thinking and the people that are my fuel, I built this new graphic that makes it all kind of come together like this. So if I was thinking about who I am as a designer right now, I'm seriously interested in developing my ability to help companies see the end to end of their products, not only the things that are happening in front of the customer, the things that are happening behind the scenes, and maybe even mapping out the systems and whatnot and other kinds of applications that come in, and developing stories that we can all understand and relate to that impact our customers, heavy collaboration, and lots of connecting the dots, all based on metrics and feedback, real customers, observed behavior, and then just developing this idea of a community of shared goals and principles and being customer backed and designers that can defend themselves. So yeah, so this is this is what I made this week, and I hope you guys are doing well. That's about it. Thanks for checking it out. Bye.
See you next